Yeah, right. What a flamer.
Are you tired of society? Does it seem like people need correction? Fix the injustices? Perhaps you can be a caped crusader and right the wrongs, or you go full-on merchant of death and live out real-world twisted metal when you get a smidgen of road rage. Regardless, the choice is yours. So step right up to the motorcycle with a flamethrower and paintball gun mounted to it. Everything you need to show you mean business when on the road. Give some warning shots and mark someone's car like a farmer marking their cattle, or just give them something to light a little fire under their arse. Flame on, you flame...
Welcome back to round 3 of the busted electric motorcycle build. If you're just tuning in, let's get you up to speed. I bought a totaled motorcycle at a salvage auction that had sat for over 2 years because nobody wanted to have their garage catch on fire or electrocute themselves to an early grave. But I am insured and I welcome death like an old friend. So we picked it up, pulled it apart to figure out what was wrong with it, and after going through all the components, then I found the problem to be a very puffed MCU. So while awaiting the parts needed and playing a classic game that I love very much, I seem to be descending more into insanity and fed up with the crooked timbers of humanity in the world, and figured I should arm the bike. Literally. Quite literally. Let's do that. Let's go over the key players in this scenario. We're gonna have, but of course, a flamethrower. I mean, this is just a glorified propane torch that can huck some flames a few feet, but we can always get some length on there if we want to. So you've got the barrel here, that little bit. This is your ignition trigger. That's your adjustment flange. And actually, if you see on the inside of this can, you can see how it clicks on, just flips the spark. So what we'll have to do is connect a cabling to get this to trigger when we have the propane on. And the other player here, of course, is this paintball gun. Paintball is very near and dear to my heart. I went semi-pro in high school, and then once I got to skipping school and going to Canada for a tournament, my dad's like, yeah, what are you doing? So, still love it. Still love the game. And then here we have, of course, a typical propane tank. Propane, sometimes known as just liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG, is normally just a compressed air that's stored as a liquid. It's non-toxic, colorless, and odorless, though odor is added so that it can be detected, because it's flammable and dangerous, so safety third. And then we've got some NOS.
I need NOS. I need NOS.
Nitrogen is just pure nitrogen, another colorless, odorless gas. It is not the same as NOS, nitrous oxide, because that's N2O. It's a different compound in nitrogen. Nitrogen is just your molecule of 2 nitrogen atoms, while nitrous oxide is the chemical compound, has 2 nitrogen molecules and an oxygen molecule. Either way, these tanks are also entirely different. The PSI, or pounds per square inch, of the propane tank is of only 100 to 200 PSI, where this nitrogen tanks can go 3,000 to 4,500 PSI. Would you look at that? And to connect these things up, we've got a standard propane routing cable and a remote coil cable for the nitrogen. Tanks don't have to dangle in the front stanchions, but will be hidden in the cage and safe and sound. Speaking of cage, this is how it all gets tidied in there. We've got the battery pack that has this seatbelt strap locking it in place. And I'll be doing the same by strapping down the tanks in front of it on the rails as well to give it that support. That way it's a nice, tidy, protected package that doesn't go boom if it bangs into something while throwing down on the trails, or, you know, getting through some tight traffic. Let's yoink off the handlebar components now. Just the PlayStation D-pad over here. And then we're gonna get a little blowjob. Just this and get the grip off. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, let's see. So I purchased this spring-loaded throttle cable assembly. And let's see which way it works to put on. So we're gonna crowd these bars with the D-pad, the throttle, the grip, and the brake handle. So this looks nice. I like this down-firing one over yonder. This is good. Let's see how we can fit it all in with the brake as well. And they both function. All right, looks good. Let's tidy it up. tighten it up. All right, they both function and they work together. Easy enough to hit the throttle here, or the trigger, and the brake, trigger, brake, trigger, brake. Neat. All right, it's got about 1 inch of play, and we'll attach that to the actual trigger on both the paintball gun and the flamethrower. Now, so that we are armed, we put the arm on the fork, so that it is armed with arms. That was terribly redundant, and I loved it.
At this stage, we now have a glowing hammer. The shape goes into a shape press that presses the shape into a pressed shape.
This is our arm for the arms here. This is actually a gun rack holster for an ATV. You could very readily available buy these. And normally they just hold your firearms. They don't fire your firearms, but there are creative solutions for that. What the heck, why can't I get this in? And that's what she said, yeah, I know. Yeah, what in the Yosemite Sam mud flaps is going on here? This is looking like a proper Batman bike right now, good lord. Okay. Well, it's not just about the looks. Let's make it real, as my friends at Hacksmith Industries would say. So the paintball gun trigger is super easy because it's on a magnet, and it's just a very sensitive electric switch that you can hear clicking to engage, which if the air were connected and I actually had paintballs that showed up on time, I'd be able to shoot it. I'm not going to dry fire the gun because it's not that great for these O-rings. They deserve the blowback of something in the chamber. So either way, you can hear the click, so you know that the electronic switch is in fact engaging. And very simply put, I can do that up here, and I can hear it with the trigger. So we are in business on this side. Fart, a little harder, but no big deal. I think on this side we're just gonna have to do some reinforcement and cable it up. Making a little noose over here. Probably can't say that. As you can see here, I've strung it down with some of the cables to pull on it evenly on both sides to give it the tension that it needs to be able to follow through on engaging the ignition. Jesus. That's gonna be something right there. All right, as a bonus round, I had to reduce and edit this video because apparently showing this in very specific details marks this video as not safe by YouTube. So I'm just going to show you that there's this cable here, right? And you can bring it along to this container of fluid that is flammable that I won't tell you what it is, and a little pump action. This will allow you to, in fact, throw a flame. Whoopsie daisy, Patrick Swayze. Stream of justice. Maybe I should move that battery-powered truck over here. That might not be helpful, huh? Jeez. Well, all in all, I'm pretty excited about this, and I hope you guys are too. Thank you for coming along for this nonsense, and I hope you guys have a absolutely lovely week. Please email me if you want further instructions on how to do things and stuff. Okay, see you later. Ciao!